Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
and Aušra Pinkevičienė.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as Total Organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Aušra.
Let's start episode 292 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by Ruth. She's our Total Organist student. And she writes, "My organ has completely broken down and cannot be repaired. So I have spent quite a bit of time in looking for another. Through my teacher I found another which is several hundred miles from here. The owner of it is willing to give it to me, but I need to pay for its transportation here. She had several persons come to examine hers. They have confirmed that it is in excellent condition, so I feel fortunate. Meanwhile, I have been practicing on the piano. Has this happened to any of you?" And Jay, who is helping to do transcriptions of those podcast conversations, wrote, "Yeah, similar problems. I have and had an older Rogers analog organ that had a problem with contact wires under the keys, breaking continually, mostly because of its age, I think. It was becoming rather expensive to maintain it, so I disposed of it just this week. I was seriously considering putting together a Hauptwerk organ, but I was notified of a little-used digital organ, which is likely much less expensive, and it has built-in MIDI connectors for Hauptwerk possibilities as well. It is scheduled to be delivered this coming week. One gets used to having a practice organ at home, and I miss it." And then Jeremy wrote also, who is on our team too, "I don't have room or the money for an organ at home, so I am in contact with 3 churches and a friend who has an organ in his home. They are all more than welcoming when I ask to come and practice. It would be nice to have an organ at home and not have to plan in my practicing plus travel time." So, and then you see wonderful discussion we have among those 3 organists in our Total Organist group.
Yes.
Sometimes we ask people at the end of the day what are they working on, or what are they struggling with, or what are the goals are for this week, or some of the inspiring things they have read or noticed that could be also inspiring for other students in our group, and they all share, and we all share these things, and little discussions happen within that group and team. Don't you think, Aušra, it also is very motivating for people to see that other people having similar problems or challenges or dreams, and they're working together as a group then?
I think so, yes. I think it's very important.
Like a little community.
Because sometimes when you have a problem, you think that you are the only one who has this problem, but when you share it, it appears that other people have the same problem as well, or we already find out how to solve it, and their experience might help solve it for you too.
Right. Not everybody is involved in this kind of discussions, right? Everybody gets a question like that. What are you working on once in a while, or what are you struggling with? But some people, are maybe more private people, right? They don't think it's interesting for them to, you know, work together as a group. So because organists most of the time they are alone, and some people enjoy being alone and solving their problems on their own. But on the contrary, for others, like maybe Jay or Ruth or Jeremy in this case too, they like having those discussions and support themselves too. So that's how our Total Organist works. We support each other and we grow together. And going back to Ruth situation, I guess it's wonderful that she has found a situation, an organ, even though it's a few hundred miles from her, but hopefully she will get that organ shipped to her.
Yes, I think it's possible.
Do you think it's worth investing some money into shipping?
Sure, because if the expert said that it's a good deal, I think she should do it.
And Ruth, was curious what kind of digital organ Jay uses. And Jay said it's a Rogers 557. So discussion continues about those instruments. So it's really interesting to see how people solve those problems around the world, and they have similar situations all over. Sometimes people go to church like Jeremy, and if they're lucky to get a decent church with decent organ, and local organist would let them in and practice, that's fantastic too.
True. And in Lithuania, it's not so common, to have organ at home, so we don't have so much trouble, and so many problems with, receiving organ or moving them around. But, I can see sometimes advertisements in the paper or on the internet that somebody will donate, piano.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to come and to pick it up for yourself. So
if it's in the same city, it's not very far, but if it's in another city, then it might get a little bit expensive.
And it's often the case that people live in apartment buildings, and let's say if you live, let's say, on the 10th floor, and you cannot fit the piano into an elevator, then you have to take it downstairs, manually, and it's a heavy job.
For maybe for muscle up and fit men.
I know. And it's often the case if you sell, your apartment and you have a piano in it. So one of the things is that you discuss with the new owners that you will sell the apartment, but we have to stick with that piano because you are not able to move it.
Mm-hmm.
So
some people treasure their pianos, so they travel with pianos everywhere they go next to.
I know, and when my parents sold this summer cottage, we sold it with the piano together.
Mm-hmm. But we have in our current home piano in addition to organ. Can you tell our friends where this piano comes from?
Well, it's called Riga, and Riga is Latvian capital. And actually, in the Soviet time, we had quite a famous piano factories in Riga. And this, upright piano, it was all over the Soviet Union, I think.
Exactly. So basically, we have two instruments at home and we're quite privileged to use them. And the piano is tuned about 1/2 step lower.
Yes, because it was a while since it was, properly tuned.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what all the instruments, all the pianos does if you don't tune them for a while.
Right. So hopefully by now Ruth has found some solutions to ship that instrument to her, but at any rate I think it's well worth putting in the money or investing into shipping that instrument if somebody is kind enough to donating, especially if it's in a good condition. Right, it's a privilege to have an organ at home.
True.
Even though sometimes people like to go outside to the studio or a church to practice. Osha, would you prefer playing in, let's say, your separate studio if you had one, or here at home?
Well, I enjoy playing at home because it saves me time. Because if I would have to walk somewhere, to church or to studio, of course I walk to church before recitals.
Mm-hmm.
When I really have to practice on the real instrument which I will be performing on. But I wouldn't do that every day. And since I have organ at home, I can practice every day, and it's very nice.
And I like to go to church often. It helps me keep my fingers in a condition to be ready to play heavy mechanical organs, which is what we have at church, and it's nice to be in an old town of Vilnius too, to be in that part of the city while you work at school.
Yes, but if you would be teaching like 25 hours or 26 hours per week, as I do, I don't think you would have enough energy to walk to church to play every day.
We can switch, I could teach for you and you could play for me.
Oh, yes, I would love to switch.
But your students wouldn't love me.
Probably not.
We would talk about internet
Yes.
and blogging and preparing them for the future of their profession.
We might like that instead of discussing, problems related with parallel fifths and octaves.
I know. Thank you guys for sending those wonderful questions, for having discussions in our Total Organist base camp group, and keep sending your challenges and dreams. We love helping you grow. This was Vidas.
And Usha.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, the sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your essays, courses, and all your help.
Robert writes, I found the fingerings, registration ideas, and general comments to be excellent.
John writes, I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you are there teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor.
Robert writes, it has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching.
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Osha, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home, and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Osha and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward."
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition, and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas.
And Osha from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.